Listen, following football costs enough money already, so don't let your mobile bill mug you off. Rocket Mobile gives you unlimited everything for £16 a month. No nonsense. Powered by Vodafone and Free, plus exclusive content and prizes when you switch on over. Scan the QR code or click the link and put that cash back into football. AFTV 2-1, your prediction before the game?
4-0. I thought floodgates. I said 4-0, and I thought I was being generous. I thought they might come in, first 20 minutes they might show up, and once we score the first, game's over from then. It's an easy one, and you get a week's rest, and everything looks really lovely, and it glosses over everything that happened last week. But what we saw was completely different. I think the first half was probably one of the worst halves of football for us that I've seen all season.
I think the worst half this season was shocking.
I'm struggling to think of one, and I don't want to commit to it. But
no shots on target in that first half.
Poor. All over the pitch, really. But what we saw was we came out in the second half and everything was different. The urgency was different, the application was different, the intensity was different on and off the ball. We started creating chances, we started making runs off the ball, we started doing things that we weren't doing in the first half. And then you still don't look like you're going to break the deadlock, so the manager changes things, he makes some changes. That also looks like it works. You get a really fortunate goal and then you think, okay, we've got the first. Now the game, you kick on. That game's dead now. This will be an easy one. And then they make the change, and then they make the changes, and they change their shape, they change their intensity, and we don't match it. We don't respond to it. We don't match it. That isn't the manager. I'm struggling. I'm struggling to understand people that are saying that that's the manager's instructions and he's telling them to do this, that and the third. I saw Declan Rice at times just telling everyone, look, we have to get in a bit, but we also have to, like you said, we also have to go and put some pressure on the football.
That's what I was saying. I didn't see any player. There was one leading up to their goal. They were just passing it around. Nobody was engaged. Even go and stick a foul in on someone. Everyone was just standing off. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, there was a period where
who we playing? Real Madrid.
There was a period where they were dominating the ball and we weren't doing anything. And then they got the goal, and then all of a sudden Ødegaard's now pressing the goalkeeper, and you're going. Yeah. The time for that was 2-3 minutes. The time for that was 2-3 minutes ago before they scored. So we lost the intensity, and there's an element of concern there. But then there's the whole argument that you do what champions do. When their equaliser goes in, it feels like a gut punch. The whole stadium just deflated, absolutely deflated. And you look at it and you go, you're going back to old seasons of past. Old wounds are opening up, and you're struggling a little bit. And then and then you put the ball in the box and you hope for something to happen, and it happens. And within the space of a couple of minutes, the whole stadium's ruptured. Everyone's limbs everywhere, arms everywhere, drinks everywhere, and you're going, we've had a lucky escape there. We've had a lucky escape there, but you can't keep having lucky escapes. They do have to.
Do you think sometimes it's almost like, And listen, we've seen these, not that we want many of these because we've had it over the years, but sometimes you need a result like this, or you need a game like this just to wake people up and say, hey, listen, if you think this Premier League is going to be easy, because that's what, and I'm not taking myself out of it, that's why I'm asking everyone what your prediction was before the game. Yeah. We all thought today was going to be easy. Probably them players thought that as well, and it weren't. They came with a game plan, Wolves, and we nearly got caught out.
Look, I think that's
so. Is it sometimes a game you need a game like this to wake up certain players to say, hey, listen, you got to play the same way like you're playing, United or Chelsea, and that you got to play the same way when you're playing the Wolves.
I think it's really easy for complacency to sit in and you look at it like I said. There isn't a single person here that thought Wolves were even going to score a goal. No one thought they were going to lay a glove on us, and it's not easy. It's not difficult to think that maybe the players went in with that. I thought the fans, also in the first half, I didn't think the fans were very good. I think we grew into the second half, and when we scored the goal, we started to hear a little bit more. and the players probably pick up off that energy, but they also have, it's 50-50, they also have to give us something and in the first half they didn't give us anything. So yes, you can probably argue that a game like that against the side that's bottom of the league is probably the one that will kind of every single week he can always kind of go back to that as a reference point. If you don't show up, what happened against Wolves can happen, and sides that have got better defensive qualities than Wolves won't let you back into the game. So let that be a lesson to you. This can't happen, and if players are going to hide, if players aren't going to put the running in, and they're not going to do the hard yards, and they're not going to do the stuff that they should be doing in possession and out of possession, there are 9 players on the bench that will, any of which would love to come on and show you what it is. And we're seeing that with Jesus. He's coming in and he looked exciting in the week. He looked exciting in midweek. Came on today, looked exciting again. Yeah, I mean, the side's crying out for Havertz to come back. It's crying out for Mascara to come back. But we had a lucky escape. But we escaped with 3 points, and that's what matters.